fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between. Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. A war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask, Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Othniel, the all-knowing. And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between. To stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Hey guys, I'm Mathew Lighty, and this is my Elden Ring video. I've been asked to do an Elden Ring playthrough or a series in Elden Ring or whatever for, well, basically since the game has come out. I've kind of been apprehensive. I've played every Souls game, I've beaten every Souls game and varieties of new game pluses and expansions and DLCs and what have you. And I've done the same for Elden Ring. But basically I'm going to progress through the game, get every remembrance, do all the main bosses per se, and finish the game in its entirety. I think I'm probably going to play a two-hand sword build because I haven't done that. I will not be using assistance from the other players. I'll be using everything the game has to offer, so that includes NPC summons if they exist, or spirit ashes, or arts of war, yeah, throwables, whatever. Yeah, I mean, some bosses will be exploited, some bosses will be cheesed. We're gonna do it all. I'm gonna be primarily focusing on strength dex, so I think I'm gonna start as a vagabond. Pretty much not touching the bottom three stats, intelligence, faith, or arcane. Name is gonna be what? Big beeper. Keepsake, I will be starting with Golden Seed, gets us one extra flask. A couple key items I want to get early is the Greatsword. Well, I guess we're talking early. I'm going to basically rush to get my Mount Torrent. I'm going to then run all the way to Kaled, which is basically just Utah or Ohio, depending how you interpret it. And then we're going to make our way to the Ancient Dragon, kill it, the Black Knight, kill it, pick up Radigan's Sword Seal, get a bunch of stats, get a bunch of levels, put on the Greatsword, and start playing the game. First thing we do is take off pretty much all of our armor. Because, yeah, I don't want to be fat rolling. As long as we stay at what would be light load or medium load, it feels pretty a-okay. Not going to bother sitting here fighting the tutorial boss. I'm simply going to run off the cliff to the left just to save myself the effort. Once we hear him drop down, we're pretty much good to jump. Good to go. And health bar's up, and we're dead. Not really good use. Not like speed running. I'm just not wasting time on things I don't care about. A beautiful naked man. Wow, look at the land of Limgrave. That's glorious. Talk to our white masked friend here, who totally has our best interest in heart. Hello, Mr. Tree Sentinel. I will not be engaging with you right now. Pick up our crafting material thingy, smithing stone 1. I don't remember if Ronnie the Witch pops up right now, and she does not. First thing we're doing now is we are heading off to get our mount. We gotta get Torrent, our trusty steed, to make traveling less aids. At the castle gates here is where I think Melina pops up for the first time ever. Are you gonna be my maiden, fair maiden? Just gotta take her to the Erd Tree. Sounds like a pretty even trade to me. An important thing to pick up while I'm here is from not the... there's the first caravan, but the second caravan has the flail. And I need the flail because the flail is a bleed weapon. Kind of drawn some attention here. Not a big deal. And the flail bleed is very important because that's going to get us what we need to cheese our first large set of runes. I didn't forget to pick up the map. These little lighthouse type things is what denotes where a map location is. You do want to try to pick those up along with every grace pretty much available because it, well, makes just everything you do a lot easier to move around and to know where you're moving. So now we're off to Kaled, and Kaled is the terrible place to the far east. There's going to be a grace up ahead and also a golden seed, which for us is another flask. I don't want to forget the wolves. Oh, there's the wolf pile. Little stone sword key right there. This woman gives us a jellyfish, which is actually pretty nice. You see her again at the round table. There's the jellyfish, though. It's actually a super nice summon. It's quite tanky early on. We can see the highway we're pretty much trying to access, and to reach that, we could just go straight from here. We also get to encounter a funny NPC along the way, which will be very useful for us eventually, because he actually has one of the talismans we need. Not forget to grab this quick little waypoint here, and we get to meet a friend. Bernal's actually pretty good of an NPC. He does help us later on, so we're going to leave him alive and let him do his thing. Our next NPC we're actually going to meet up with is kind of a fan favorite. And his name is Alexander. He's the hero of Jarburg. There he is. Just got to give him a good smack from the rear. Ready? Here we go. And boop. And boop. One more. Bam. There he's out. Look at that. Thank you for the exalted flesh. He wants us to meet him at Redmane Castle, which is the festival of Radon, which we'll get to later on. He's kind of the third boss we're going to be fighting. If you ever put a mark on the map, don't forget you could just walk right through it, and it will actually fade out, marking that you've now achieved that marker. So helpful when it comes to removing pesky markers. Hello, Mr. Pumpkinhead. There's D the Hunter on our left, another NPC. Coming up here is actually two interesting things. One, it's one of the Tibia Mariners, which are the possessors of the Death Roots. There's 4 of them, and there's 9 Death Roots, but the vast majority you get from Tibia Mariners. Also over here on the right is actually a really, really nice talisman you can get early on. It resides right over here. If you want to get it. I think I actually will grab it, to be honest. So this is the green turtle talisman, and what it does is it gives you passive, or I should say increased stamina regen. It's pretty important for playing builds that have either ultra great weapons or colossal weapons or just any big chunky two-hand, which is what we're going to be using. Green turtle talisman. We are officially entering Kaled, and as you approach this church, more likely than not right about now, we're going to get invaded by an NPC. You could just ignore her straight up. It's really easy to just run over here, grab the grace, and pick up the items on the right over here. Once you do that, you'll respawn here. She is inevitable, as all NPCs are, but we could just ignore her. And once we get far enough away from her, she just doesn't become an issue. Pretty much just have to traverse over the wall over here, and we should be fine. And she's returned to her world. Alright, we're good to go. Can pretty much just follow the North Kaled Road. I actually think we might bisect where we have to grab our weapon. I don't recall if it's right here or if it's... It might be right here. This might be the Greatsword. I really don't remember, to be honest. Iframes. Iframes. I'm being eaten. I'm being eaten. I got it. I grabbed it in time. Great sword. Alright, so there's our sword. So here's our eventual weapon here, the great sword, the colossal sword. It's going to be fantastic, but we don't have the levels or the anything to use it for. For right now, we're just going to ignore it, and we are going to blow right past these angry, angry dogs. Our goal is much farther ahead. It resides a little bit to the right of that tree over there. Quick little jump to avoid the anger, and there's a lot of anger behind me. Crazy dogs. Now, see a castle in the distance to our east. That is where we are heading. That is where we're going. Oh, almost missed the map. There we go. Dragon Barrow. Named that for the amount of dragons just wandering around. Once you see the high wall, I guess low wall, you can pretty much just hug the left side of it and run right down. We'll be passing the ancient dragon, which we'll be killing soon, but for now we have to access the castle behind to get our special talisman. So this castle actually has two things of importance for us. One is half of a crest we have to pick up to access the lift, and the second thing, and the more important thing, is this fucking talisman. It's actually a little spooky to run through here. It's kind of could take some attempts for many people. I'm pretty good at doing this, so hopefully I pull it off in time. You tend to start to get poisoned right about here. Yeah, I'm fully poisoned, unfortunately. Not much you could do to avoid that. It's just kind of inevitable. There's a couple things we're going to grab, though. Should be the chest right here. Okay. Now, this next part gets a little fucky. So it's the second drop down over there. I have to ignore all the people that are going to be summoned around us. Tuck and roll. Hug right here. Okay, there's a little jump to be had. 1, 2, jump. Made it. Drink up. Okay, we're going to fight some rats in a second. Excuse me, rats. Jumping down and rotating around. And there's our talisman. Now we could die in peace. Not too hard, right? Thank you, friend. Now if we pop on our sword shield, what it does is it gets us 5 levels for vigor, endurance, strength, and dex. All the things we want at the cost of, I think, roughly 8 or 9% increased damage taken, which, to be honest, is kind of negligible. The reason we want this is because we need to get the 18 dex to put on the flail, and the reason that's important is because with the flail on, as long as we meet the stat attribute requirements, we can actually apply the bleed. And the reason that's important is because we're going to bleed out this giant fucking dragon. We want to get in this little nook right here, position ourselves just right, so that every time I R1, it hits the dragon. Now I'm going to sit here, just spamming R1, hitting this dragon. And about every 20 hits, give or take, you will see that its life, which I'm doing none of basically, will take a huge chunk right there, 14k, because bleed is percentage based. It's roughly 15% of their maximum life is being taken. So I have to do this about 6 or 7 times. The reason we do it on the mount is because being a little higher up makes it actually easy to hit him, and I don't miss this way. As long as you stay in this nook, you are 100% safe, by the way. There are about 6 dragons around this larger dragon. None of them can reach you. And we're almost there. One more bleed proc. This amount of runes is going to basically catapult us into being able to use our greatsword and enjoy, well, being a little bit stronger than we should be. Down goes the large dragon. Goodbye, friend. Put up a good fight. There we go. 50,000 souls, and a bunch more souls for each of the little dragons killed. God bless. Hello, Melina. What do you want? You want me to take the Roundtable Hold? I'm being abducted by this woman. Roundtable Hold is basically the NPC shop hub. Not a whole lot going on at the moment for me. Now that I'm here, I could just level up real quick. I need 31 strength, which means I actually only need 26 strength. What's it called? I have the Sword Seal on. The rest I can put into life to 20, which goes to 25. And then I rest into endurance because I need to be able to swing my fucking sword. Bam! The great sword. Now that is looking spicy. I have no Ash of War. I have no wet blades to change the scaling of my weapon. It is what it is right now. It's just a big old fucking meat stick. Next stop for us is to kill a Black Knight in the least ethical way possible. There's the Erd Tree. We have to go a little bit past it to that road leading up there. There's a wind stream here. There is a wind stream here. One. And we're safe. Gonna be a angry thing. We're going to ignore that. Well, how hard do I even hit? I have no idea. Not very. Got it. Here is our grace, and we have to make it nighttime. Gotta be nighttime because Black Knights only spawn at nighttime. And we're basically going to be kiting the Black Knight through a poison caltrop field. It's a little spooky, and it's kind of tricky to pull off because he's a little bit faster than you. And it gets a little awkward if you go too fast. So there's the Black Knight. Basically got to get him to be tickling my ass at all times. A little bit of zigzagginess. I want to hit as many of these poison pots as possible. And if you do it right, he basically gets perma-poisoned and he just reaches some sort of max poison capacity and just dies. That's the idea, at least. He should be dead right now if I did it right. So I don't think I did. No, I think I fucked it up. Alright, Black Knight, Poison Cheese, round 2. It's looking good, feeling good, looking good, feeling good. Oh, he hit me. Yeah. See, he just caught up to me that time. Black Knight, round 3. Here we go. Fuck you. Oh, he caught me, but not fully. Am I okay? Am I okay? Is it enough? Yep, I got him. There we go. That was enough. Alright, 42,000 souls, and also Bloodhound Step Ash of War, which is super, super important for all clunky builds and just PvP in general. A couple more points of endurance, and the rest is going pretty much into strength until we're at 50 now. Nothing but strength until 50 strength. So once we select Bloodhound Step, we could change it from Keen to Base to Standard, which just means that we do gain access to the Bloodhound Step, but it doesn't actually fuck with their scaling. Bloodhound Step, again, looks like this, where we just start kind of like zooping around. And it doesn't cost a lot of FP, so we can use it pretty heavily. Last but not least, we have to go back to the Church of Ayla at the beginning to pick up our bell from Ronnie. Ronnie the Witch is going to be right here. There she is, and she's going to give us our sweet, sweet bell. Bell's going to let us do spirit summons, which we're going to bring out the sweet, sweet, our sweet, sweet jellyfish. Jellyfish cost very little and does giga work. There's even actually a quest down the road with the jellyfish, which I look forward to. Ow. Ow. Let's just Bloodhound Step my way over to the gate. Bloodhound stepping into the future. Boy, here's our best bud, Rogier. It's our first NPC summon, and he's goated. He's emotionally goated. I'd like to think of him as the true protagonist of this game.
Foul tarnished. In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Jellyfish on the move. We are good to go. I've been hit. I have not played a two-hand sword build in Elden Ring full stop yet. So I do not know what to expect or how to play. Okay, we got a little poise off here. Execution incoming. Bam, bam. Big hit. Big hammer boy. Oh no, Rogier has fallen. Another big poise stagger. Here comes the execute. Bam! Get rocked. He's basically off the map. Oh my god, Roger's still alive. Oh, Roger, you sweet bean. Roger's dead. Bloodhound stepping like a god. Big hit. Oh, that was just eating shit. Play it safe, and here comes the final blow. Jelly boy for the win. Hiya. Man, playing with a greatsword is going to be a playstyle I'm going to have to get to because it is clunk-tastic. But either way, there's our first talisman pouch. This gives us something very important. We can put on our green turtle talisman. Now when we're doing our jump attack, it's not going to just decimate our fucking stamina as we're railing in combat. More importantly, that does actually net us a level, of which we are picking up more strength.